Let us discuss the next question. This is from the year 2017. Consider the following statements. With reference to the Constitution of India, the directive principles of state policy constitute limitations upon 1. Legislative, 2. Executive. Which of the following statements are correct? Now the question is asking us, what does the directive principles of state policy put limitations upon? Does it lay limitations upon the legislature and does it lay limitations upon the executive? The answer is neither one nor two. It is the fundamental rights which is laying limitations upon the legislature and the executive. The fundamental rights have negative impact on the powers of the legislature and the executive. The DPSPs are positive in nature. They ask the state to do certain things while making the policy for the government. So they are the kind of the instrument of instructions. These are the instructions that the government has to follow when making the laws. So they are positive in nature. They don't put any limitations. It is the fundamental rights which puts the limitations both on the legislature and the executive. So the answer here is neither one nor two. Let's look at the explanation now. DPSP, the very meaning, the directive principles mean there is some directives which are given to the state. These are the directives that the state should keep in mind while making the policies and making the laws. They are similar to the instrument of instructions which are there in the Government of India Act of 1935. Ultimately, following DPSPs in the country will lead to establishment of the socio-economic democracy in the country, whereas following and upholding the fundamental rights will lead to the political democracy. And coming to the scope of the question, it is the fundamental rights that will put the limitations upon the actions of the state. It can be the legislature or it can be the executive. If we look at the basic difference between the fundamental rights and the directive principles, the fundamental rights put the restrictions on the state, saying that the state cannot engage in certain actions. So they are negative in nature. On the other hand, the directive principles are positive in nature because the directive principles are asking the state to do something. They are kind of the directions which are there for the state while making the policies. That is why, because they are in the nature of suggestions, in the nature of the directions, they are positive in nature. They are asking the state to do something. Coming back to the question, the answer is D, neither one nor two.